So again, make sure you go vote in today's poll question. Has your opinion on the Heat changed? Go to @ZASLOW Show. Finally over 500. Has your opinion on the Miami Heat changed? And you guys are coming out. You're voting early and often. And like I said, right now, 69% of the vote. Your choices are yes, now they're rolling. No, they beat shit teams. 69% is saying no, they beat shit teams. My opinion has not changed. For me, yeah, my opinion has changed. I think now they're starting to roll. I already explained all that to you, so there you have it. All right, let's get into the Dolphins. So we started off the show today telling you why last night's Monday Night Football was important, because now you got the Packers, who are 6-8. Their playoff hopes are still alive. They got 3 more games. Final road game is this Sunday, at the Dolphins. So you're going to get a motivated Green Bay team this weekend. And look, finally the Dolphins are back home. You know, Tua's performance in Buffalo, I think, is probably pretty big for his confidence. He is a quarterback, and we've seen this go into the difference from Flores to McDaniel, with him saying how there were times last year he looked in the mirror and he asked himself, do I stink? You know, clearly this is a player where, you know, confidence can fluctuate, and that kind of stuff is important to him. That type of stuff means something. So I do think that while you don't want to take any moral victories, and look, Jalen Waddle said it, I think Tua said it as well. We're not in the business, we're not taking moral victories. Good. I like hearing that, because I don't feel that way right now. I know there are things. We talked about this yesterday. If you missed yesterday's episode of ZASLOW Show 2.0, you go back in the archives. Look, I love when you do that. If you ever miss the show, if you ever miss It's Still Real to Me on Saturdays, this past weekend, it was Sunday actually, if you're a pro wrestling fan. And we got a nugget, by the way, in pro wrestling on Big Deal or Not a Big Deal today. But if you ever miss any of the show, you go back in the archives. It's all right there. That's one of the things that I've learned as well when it comes to not being on, terrestrial radio anymore. Every episode here, it's right there. Go back and listen to whatever you want. I'll let you a long time. So anyway, we talked about this yesterday where I'm not feeling like I got a hard time looking at the macro view, which is the Dolphins are going to win these final 3 games. At least right after the game on Sunday, on Sunday, that's how I felt. Saturday night, that's how I felt. But the micro view is, they've lost 3 games in a row. So I got a hard time taking any silver lining out of playing really well for the most part, going toe-to-toe on the road with probably the best team in the NFL. Because the micro view, they've lost 3 games in a row. That's what's really on my mind right now. But if you want to take a silver lining, I know they've said that they're not into moral victories, but Tua's performance in Buffalo, in the weather, against that team, because it's not like Tua wasn't great in the game against Buffalo that they won week 3. Dolphins only scored 21 points that game. Like, that was a hard physical game. Tua's performance in Buffalo, I do think was big for his confidence. That's something you could take away and say, all right, this is important. I do think it was important for him to get back on track. And now the team comes home. They've been gone. Like, we're going to get to this weekend. The Dolphins, after having won 5 games in a row, we're going to get to this weekend, and it's been a month since we've seen our favorite little football team win a game. That's tough to swallow. But it's also been a month since they've had a home game. So, finally back home. They'll be comfortable. I do think that there is a confidence level. No moral victories, but I do think there is a confidence level, not just with Tua, but with the team. After their performance on Saturday night, they came up short. Doesn't mean they didn't play well. And I think they come home this week, they're going to smoke Green Bay. I do. That Rams team stinks last night. And for at least half the game, it was a little bit of a struggle there for the Packers, That game was still in doubt into the fourth quarter. I think the Dolphins are going to smack the Packers this weekend. But it is a motivated Packers team. Dolphins, last I checked, were 4.5-point home favorites. It's going to be a motivated team. It's their last road game of the season, Green Bay. And they're going to say, okay, if we could beat a Dolphin team that's lost 3 in a row right now that is struggling, we come back home to Lambeau for our final 2 games, Minnesota and Detroit, with a chance to still be alive for the playoffs. So you're going to get a big motivated effort out of the Packers. I just don't think they're any good. And I think there's a real opportunity for the Dolphins to put some pressure on Aaron Rodgers, who is not the Aaron Rodgers from even last season. So between the Heat back home tonight and this homestand that they're about to begin, and the Dolphins and needing a bounce back this Sunday afternoon, again, a standalone game on Christmas Day, This is a very big sports week. The Heat homestand begins tonight with 4 games that they need to sweep. If you're about that business, you can sweep this homestand the way you swept that road trip. You don't have any world beaters coming into town if you're the Heat. And for the Dolphins, this weekend is a get-right game where it's the start of winning the final 3 games of the season. You win this weekend, and your final 2 games, like, you're going to get super motivated teams. The schedule isn't so tough. Green Bay, New England, New York Jets. But you have 3 teams that are all super motivated. The Packers still believe that they're alive for the playoffs this weekend, even though they only have a 12% chance of making the playoffs. They are still alive. Then you got New England, who is still going to be alive and trailing you right now by a game. I don't know what it's going to be in 2 weeks. And then that final game of the season against the Jets could very well either come down to a playoff spot between both those teams, or the Jets are going to be trying to ruin the Dolphins season and knock them out of the playoffs. So while the remaining schedule is not so difficult for the Dolphins, you're getting very motivated teams. It's going to be a great finish to the season. And as down as you feel right now about the Dolphins, and you should be mad. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. If you're mad, it means you care. It means the games are important. We haven't felt that way in a long time. If you're mad about the Dolphins right now, just think about in a few weeks from now, the Dolphins are going to have won 3 in a row, and they're going to be in the playoffs, and you're going to be feeling really good about this season. It's coming. We're going to get back to good times. Good times, hard times coming up. We're going to get back to good times, all right? It's coming. You're going to feel really good. Just you got to wait a little bit. I saw this yesterday. So, by the way, Pro Bowl voting is closed. But the Pro Bowl is like there's no Pro Bowl anymore. They're playing like a flag football game, which is the right move. The Pro Bowl, you got to get rid of it. It's like a flag football game and then other competitions. So it's really just about like an honor, about an award. Now, Pro Bowl, because there's fan voting involved, Pro Bowl is still not all pro. I don't want to hear about Pro Bowl appearances when we're talking about accolades. You got to give me all pro. All pro is the real determining factor for how good a player was, not Pro Bowl. But still, the Pro Bowl voting ended yesterday, and your boy, Tua Tagovailoa, finished number 1 among all vote getters. Now, this is a couple things. And Tyreek Hill, by the way, number 2. But this screams a couple of things. Number 1, it means the Dolphin fan did a really good job. Really good job. And shout out to a couple of Dolphin fans who I know were working extra hard out there getting the vote. I know what's going on. But you got Dolphin fans out there who were out there voting, doing the Lord's work, making sure Tua finishes number 1. There's that. Good job by the Dolphin fans. Number 2, this also shows that the Dolphins and Tua are very popular. And that's why Tyreek Hill placed second among all Pro Bowl voting. Because you know Tyreek Hill is popular. But the Dolphins haven't been a national team in over 20 years. The Dolphins used to be. They were exciting, and they got fans all over the country. That's why every time the Dolphins are on the road, the Dolphin fan travels pretty well, but also you got Dolphin fans all over the country. And they're a super popular team. And now because they're good again, the Dolphin fan is coming out the woodwork. So it's showing you, 1, the Dolphin fan did a good job representing, and 2, it shows you Dolphins are a popular team. Dolphins are a national team again. So Tua finished number 1, Tyreek Hill number 2, then Pat Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce. There you have it. But Tua finished number 1, 13,000 votes ahead of Hill, 35,000 votes ahead of Pat Mahomes. So that's really cool. And then you got this Ben Volin, who covers the Patriots, who I think used to cover the Dolphins, right? What the hell is his problem? What's his problem? He tweets out here, congrats to Dolphins fans for sitting at their computer more than other fan bases. What the hell's his problem? I mean, the Dolphin fan is doing exactly what you're supposed to do. It's fan voting, and he's being critical of the Dolphin fan for voting? Like, you get the whole, and especially because, I guess he's doing PR for New England, Ben Volin. He's doing, the Patriots, he's doing the work for them. He must be getting paid by them because he's out there, with this kind of bullshit. Well, what the hell is his problem? and senior NFL writer at the Boston Globe. Where does it say shill for the Patriots? I didn't say that on his bio. Anyway, so I'm sure he's also one of those uppity, New England guys who says how Miami is bad sports fans, right? So Miami is bad sports fans, but now also their fans should not support their players, apparently, because congrats to Dolphins fans for sitting at their computer more than other fan bases. What the hell is his problem? What's that about? I don't like that. I think he used to cover the Dolphins. I don't know, screw him. Anyway, all right, you know what time it is. Week 16 is over. That means that fan bases around the NFL are feeling a certain kind of way. We got to find out which fan bases are having good times and which fan bases right now are going through hard times, Daddy.
Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time.
That's right. Good times and hard times, Daddy. Let's go through the NFL fan bases that are going through good times right now through week 15, NFL action. Number 3, the Jacksonville Jaguars fan is having good times right now. They are 6-8. They're technically still in the playoff picture because they're only a game back of the division. Tennessee is going through all kinds of problems right now, and the Jaguars are just one game back after an incredible overtime defensive touchdown winning game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Jaguars fan is having very good times because they are in the division title picture. Trevor Lawrence is playing fantastic right now. They feel like they got a franchise quarterback, and they're playing respectable football. Boy, Urban Meyer, he was the worst. So the Jaguars fan right now is having good times. Number 2, the New York Giants fan is having good times. That was a really good Sunday Night Football game, actually. I mean, final score 20-12. You wouldn't have thought so. I watched the whole game. That was a good game. And the Giants, they hang on and they beat the Commanders. That's what Washington is called this year. They're the Commanders. And the Giants, they are the number 6 seed right now, 8-5-1. Very respectable. Huge win for Brian Daboll and his crew there. So the Giants fan right now, and they're 2 up in the loss column of the first team on the outside looking in, which is Seattle and Detroit. So they're feeling pretty good for a playoff spot right now. The Giants fan is having good times. And the number one fan base having the best times after week 15 right now, the Cincinnati Bengals fan. They got off to a slow start this season. Now they are rolling. They look like the AFC champion. They could totally win the AFC. Joe Burrow is so cool, not intimidated by anyone. The Bengals, they were down 17-0 at halftime against Tom Brady on the road to the Bucs. Who the hell cares? They wind up smoking them in the second half. They win 34-23. The Bengals are now 10-4. They're number 3 in the AFC, and obviously with a chance to, things break right, to finish number 1 overall in the AFC, albeit unlikely. So the 3 fan bases that are having good times after week 15. The Jacksonville Jaguar fan, the New York Giants fan, and the best times after week 15 are being had by the Cincinnati Bengals fan. All right, now, which NFL fan bases are going through hard times, Daddy? The number 3 fan base having hard times after week 15's action, the Dallas Cowboy fan. Brutal way to lose in overtime, a defensive score. The Cowboys, a damaging loss. They dropped to 10-4. They're not going to win the division, and now they're just one game up in the loss column over the New York Giants. So the Dallas Cowboy fan right now, they're having hard times, Daddy, after week 15. Number 2, the New York Jets fan. The New York Jets fan's having hard times right now because they are 7-7 on the outside looking in. If they would have been able to beat the Lions, they would have jumped into the playoff picture. The Dolphins would be on the outside looking in right now. Instead, Robert Saleh, terrible clock management, 58-yard field goal, no good, of course. The game ends. A 58-yard field goal is no good, and the game ends with a timeout in your pocket. That's an awful job by Robert Saleh. The Jets have lost 4 of their last 5 games now after the hot start. The Jet fan is having hard times. And number 1, you know the answer to this, the number 1 team fan base that is having the hardest times after week 15 are the stupid New England Patriot fans. That's right. The dumbest play in the history of the NFL with Bill Belichick coaching them. Mac Jones gets face mushed. He was buried and killed in the middle of the field by former Patriot Chandler Jones. The Patriots dropped to 7-7 after an all-time embarrassing loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. The dumbest play you've ever seen in your life. The fan base that is having the hardest times right now after week 15 is the stupid New England Patriots fan. So number 3, Cowboys fan. Number 2, Jets fan. And the hardest times after week 15 are being had by the stupid New England Patriots fan. That's what I'm talking about. And that right there is which NFL fan bases are having good times and who is having hard times, Daddy. Wow. Wow, what a segment. Now, easy way for those teams to have good times. You get yourself a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba. So easy. I mean, stay tranquilo. That's how you get back on track. Johnny Cuba, it's a lifestyle, talking European roots with a Caribbean soul. It's perfect for all of us down here. Start your day with a refreshing German lager in a can. That's right. You can pick it up at Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie, Fresco y Mas. Matter of fact, right now, I know throughout the holiday season at Winn-Dixie and Fresco, you got 6 packs of Johnny Cuba cans. A special holiday price right now. Johnny Cuba wants to remind you, remember, always drink responsibly. And of course, every time we have guests on ZASLOW Show 2.0, they were always brought to us by Johnny Cuba. Johnny Cuba, stay tranquilo. All right. Wow. I'm excited about the Heat game tonight, man. I'm excited. Going with my son, taking my boys tonight to the Heat game, just the second game I've been to this year. And the first game I went to this year against Toronto was the first time I'd been to a Heat game as a fan in 12 years. So I'm looking forward to that. Seeing the guys tonight, looking for win number 5 in a row. That's right. That's what we're talking about tonight, trying to get that 5th straight victory. And let's see if the Knicks are in action tonight. Hang on a second. Hang on with me here. Because the Heat are, a game and a half back in New York right now. You want to get top 6. That's the way it goes now. Are the Knicks back in action tonight? They are. The Knicks are actually on TNT, so you can keep an eye on that if you want. The Knicks have Golden State. The Warriors, not only are they without Steph Curry, but they never win on the road. All right, so you can keep an eye on that one right there. But what else we got in the NBA tonight? So New York's hosting Golden State. Detroit's hosting Utah. Nobody cares about that. Washington at Phoenix. Come on. Washington's lost 10 in a row. And Memphis at Denver. Great game. Number 1 versus number 2 in the Western Conference. So that's what you got going on right there. Great game. All right. Before we get to big deal or not a big deal, got some good stuff there for you. I want to do a quick update here on the poll question. ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll question. Go to @ZASLOW Show and you could vote. Finally over 500. Has your opinion on the Miami Heat changed? And the leader right now, still, more votes have come in, but still at 69% of the vote is no, opinion has not changed. They beat shit teams. So there you have it. Well, look, I'm hoping that we revisit this poll after this homestand here. Chicago, Indiana, Minnesota, Los Angeles Lakers should take all 4. Like, they're not going to. They're going to slip up somewhere. But if you're about that business, you got an 8-game winning streak after this homestand. This is not a difficult homestand. Anyway, if you're not going to the Heat game tonight, like I am, you're looking for somewhere to watch the game, hey, the world's greatest upscale dive bar, Briny Irish Pub. That's right, Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach. Live music every single night, including tonight starting at 6 p.m. You got Michelle Wolf. She's got the live music tonight for you. Every single night, live music at Briny Irish Pub, Atlantic Boulevard, all the way to the ocean. But you don't drive into the ocean. You want to park right behind Briny, where you got free parking there. And they'll validate you, all right? So no worries as far as the parking situation. Don't park in the lot where you got to pay. Park behind the Briny. Free parking right there, all right? And tonight, you got new Mahi Taco Tuesday specials, $1 off Casamigos, Patron and Volley Tequila Seltzers. The Briny Hour is every weekday, 4 to 7 p.m. And like I said, live music 7 days a week. Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach. And I'm planning on being there Sunday afternoon. They got the NFL ticket, so this Saturday you want to go there for NFL ticket, but I'm planning on being there Sunday afternoon to watch the Dolphins. So you can come and hang out, and you could say hello. Let's get to big deal or not a big deal. All right, come on. Big deal or not a big deal. You know we do it every show to wrap things up, and here's what I got for you today. Number 1, Big deal or not a big deal? This Avatar 2 is in theaters. I gotta tell you, and it's getting good reviews. For me, not a big deal. I don't get Avatar. I tried watching the first one many years ago. I can't get through it. It doesn't interest me. My younger son wants to see it, but we gotta watch the first movie first, not just going to the theater and watching Avatar 2. So I'm gonna give it another try, the first one, because he wants to go see Avatar 2. But right now, I gotta go not a big deal on Avatar 2. Last night, gave you a lot of NBA earlier. One game I didn't go through was the Oklahoma City Thunder took on the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard surpassed Clyde Drexler for all-time leading scorer for the Portland Trail Blazers. That's really cool, but the story of the game ended up being with the game on the line late. It was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the ball.
Big thing here is where the Thunder catch this. Shai gets it, spins away, baseline shot. Shai puts it in and walks it off in OKC. Kissing the Blazers goodnight.
He's a superstar. He is having some kind of season. And just think, between Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, eventually Chet Holmgren next year, whoever they wind up getting, in the draft this year, they got a ton of draft picks. Maybe they get Wembanyama. That Thunder team, they could be something in the not too distant future. That's a big deal. He is a really good player. He is a lot of fun to watch. Big deal or not a big deal? Tonight at Watsco Center. How about this? Sliding right under the radar. The Miami Hurricanes, they're in the top 25, 11-1. All right, they're 2-0 in ACC play. The number 22 ranked Miami Hurricanes are hosting number 6 Virginia Cavaliers. Tonight, 8:30 from Watsco Center. Miami Hurricanes basketball team is really good this year. This is a big deal. Now, I'm going to the Heat game, but I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on right, what are we talking? Just a few miles down the road there for Miami Hurricanes basketball. That's a big deal, Miami hosting Virginia. Big deal or not a big deal? It's almost January, and the Miami Marlins have done absolutely nothing. They haven't signed anybody. They haven't made any trades. And Bruce Sherman, new owner, same as the old owner. Although, I really shouldn't say that because Jeffrey Loria would they would go out there and get free agents. They weren't, they were usually not good. They weren't good signings. They were giving big money to guys who they shouldn't be giving it to. But at least they gave you they put forth some kind of effort. I know everyone likes some mother F Jeffrey Loria and David Sampson. They put together at least a little bit of effort. This Bruce Sherman is a deadbeat owner. Kim Ng, she stinks. And she's on the last year of her contract. I mean, how do you think that's going to wind up going? They haven't signed any. She's done nothing. The deadbeat owner. Sell the team. The Marlins, they told you they were going to raise payroll, right? Where is it? They haven't done anything. It's a deadbeat owner, and it's a poverty franchise. This is a big deal, and there's no way out of it. I don't see a way out of it. Terrible. I've lost all interest in the Marlins. I got to be honest with you. Finally, I got one more for you. Big deal or not a big deal. WWE superstar Lacey Evans. That's right. She posted last night a clip from InfoWars. That's Alex Jones. That's a big no-no, all right? And it was, vaccines causing autism and ADHD and all kinds of that other bullshit. And she has since deleted it, but this is a big deal. I don't know if you're going to be able to sweep this under the rug. I'm interested in what WWE is going to wind up doing about this. It's trending this morning. Lacey Evans. Why is Lacey Evans trending? It's trending this morning because everyone has noticed about it now. There's a big stir, and it's not cool. The vaccines and all kinds of other, medications. Not just COVID vaccines, but just like vaccines in general. There's some people who believe in that nonsense, that vaccines cause autism and they're causing ADHD. It's bullshit. Stop with the nonsense. This is a big deal. I don't know what the fallout's going to wind up being, but I am interested to see what they do there. I think Lacey Evans could have a problem. You probably won't see her coming up on December 29th, WWE Live at FTX Arena. That's right. If you're looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, all right, what better gift to surprise your kids than to take them to go see WWE live. FTX Arena, 2 weeks from this, next week, right? Yeah, next Thursday, December 29th, Bray Wyatt is making his return to Miami, all right? So you can see Bray Wyatt live there, the Eater of Worlds, live there in person. You got all kinds of other superstars who were advertised to be there. Ronda Rousey, New Day, Braun Strowman, The Bloodline. So if you're looking for tickets right now, you know I'm going to be there, all right? FTXarena.com. Go check out WWE Live. And that right there is another edition of Big Deal or Not a Big Deal. That's what I'm talking about right there. Come on, can we start the show tomorrow? It'll be a Panther game day. Panthers are hosting the Devils. They stink. The Panthers stink, although the Devils have lost 5 in a row. But can we start the show tomorrow with the Heat riding a 5-game win streak? Go vote in today's very controversial ZASLOW Show poll at ZASLOW Show. Tomorrow, can we start the show with a 5-game win streak for the Heat? Hey, I appreciate all you guys. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment for the podcast. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your mother I say hello. Appreciate all you guys very, very much. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.